Good afternoon and welcome back to Sosnovka. We've had a little break. We've all met up back up here by the Ministry of Logistics. All we have to do now is start on the soil that we accidentally sowed along here. We're just going to take the headers out along the end of this field. Otherwise the harvester can kind of handle it. It will miss a small amount at the end, but it'll also make really long, elaborate turning maneuvers, which wastes a lot of time and I guess also wastes a bit of money. So let's get this guy going. We're looking good. Ooh, in the face. And we're just gonna get over here. We fertilised the half of the field that the sunflowers have already come out of, so we can get Belinda off doing her work. Fantastic. And we're going to let the plough get ahead a little bit before we worry about fertilising behind it and then seeding. The Schluter has reloaded his seeder, his sapling planter, so we're going to go back up to the woods and carry on. We've got 20 in this morning. I don't think it's going to take us too long to get these done. I thought it would be a much more tiresome task than it is turning out to be so far. And I've had a little walk around and found some more stumps. And if I'm correct, ooh, there's a big hole. We want to go around the big hole. The stump grinder is right where we left it over here. So we're just going to leave the planter here. And we're going to hop out, find ourselves another stump. There's one right there. No, I'm not brave enough to do that internally. That a stump too? Nope. Right there. Back up a bit. There we go. All gone. Oh look, there's one right there too. And one behind us. Shall we just go ahead and get these? And then we'll just do a little following lap. I don't think anyone's going to mind if we're not exactly in the same location with the new trees. But my plan is definitely to make sure it doesn't look quite as barren as we've left areas of it up here. Who needs that? Some lovely woodland around where I live. Some of it's managed, basically plantation forestry, and no, there's big chunks that aren't. They're just nice and wild. So I do consider myself to be a bit of a woodland fan, and for about 8 years I ran an airsoft site and leased a nice big packet of woodland. And yeah, had lots of good times out there. Started playing airsoft again now that Dexter's getting into it too. I've just cleared out a load of equipment that I had in storage and been getting that going and re-lubing it and tuning some things up. And we do enjoy a little bit of that. Alright, that's those ones, so we can do a little ring around here. Drop him off. We can almost see what the team are up to, look. The harvester's stopped. What have you done? You came back that way. We'll forgive you. There you go. Right, let's get hitched on this planter. Did we just kind of go around in a circle there? We did. Right, let's try to recreate it. This machine, it only ever works at 3 miles an hour. Can be quite frustrating if you do plant a field of poplar. It takes a very long time. But we may have a look at that now that we're responsible for the Ministry of Wood. Put one there. Oh, there's another stump there, look. So we'll preemptively plant a tree next to that stump and then come back and get the stump. And then we'll put one in up here. Did he go in? Yes. Drop the planter, we'll just go back and get that stump and clear a few more. Okay, this is the last stump I think I'm going to find, or certainly bother looking for. It's not really a big deal, is it? But there's 6 stumps somewhere, but do we care? I think we need to. Who is going to criticise us when we have taken the trouble to do this work? Well, can we squeeze a tree in here? Yes, we can. Right, what we're going to do now, we've obviously got 9 saplings left. We only need to plant 6 more to even things out, but we're not going to be stingy. We want to get this pallet emptied. And the machinery returned off its leaks. We're well under the hour, I'm pleased to say. Now what I'm thinking of doing, as I said, I'd like to get some of these trees somewhere we can kind of keep an eye on them. I think I'm going to plant some just across here. Now I did try this allow create fields, because I could turn this land into a sort of cultivatable field, so I didn't know whether it would plough it out or something like that. Make it look a bit more fieldy or woodsy, but it seems to have. Lower it, turn it on, allow create fields. Doesn't actually do anything, so we're just going to creep along here at 3 miles an hour and plant these trees. We're ahead of the game. Well done us. Right, that planting's all done, 0.6 of an hour on both pieces, so we shall return them. Back in the farmyard, little Zeta, he hasn't really done anything. He's had a bit of a quiet morning, but he's probably deserved a bit of a break. Massey 200 is still happily seeding away up here. We've managed to get everything else down here with these 2 vehicles. The harvester doing sterling work in bringing his own wagons back. So we can drop the back one because we definitely won't need that. We might as well drag this one closer to the field on the way round. And then we've got this field of soy. The potatoes still aren't quite ready to harvest, but that's okay, because I know from experience they are going to require a little bit of focus, shall we put it that way. It depends. What I found with that machine is it either works brilliantly first time, or it takes a few goes to get the worker going with it, but we shall see. Right, so he's off. Lovely. You can bring your trailer in here and add to our stockpile of bags of fertilizer and seed. So we drop the trailer there. Plough. Can just sit right in here for now. Don't need the front loader arms on this tractor at the moment, so they can stay there. And now, which way did I put the fertilizer on? I'm going to have to pull the trailer out to get him off. As you can see, we did pretty well getting the bags of fertilizer on. One fell over. Once they're over, they're over. There's no standing them back up unless you jam them. Right, you can get over here ready to fertilize when you're good to go. And let's get back with little Zeta. Make a little bit of mixed rations up, shall we? Or actually, should we animals? We don't want to be accused of neglecting them, do we? So the pigs, they're going to get some potatoes later. We can take them up some soybeans. We can take them, I'm not sure we can take them any barley, but they'll be fine till tomorrow. And yeah, we need a top up on the cows of grass and mixed rations basically. So now we're down here, we'll get one load of mixed rations put in, excuse me, and then we'll get some grass mown. We'll put some in the cows and we shall wrap the rest. We just pop back to the little Zeta. The guys are getting on with the field work. And we're just going to mix up another batch of rations and demonstrate to you why I used this kind of stacking technique on the trailer. It's because we can now grab those two together. Now it is quite a bit of weight on the front of the Zeta, so we need to be gentle, especially without a back weight, but there you go. In he goes, another batch of mixed rations for our happy cows. And let's not forget, with all this new freedom and income and options that we have, that we are a cow farm. I'm in no rush to spend the money that we're making. We're obviously leasing a few bits of equipment and doing some jobs that we didn't get around to doing before. But I'm not going to make any huge commitments financially. For a day or two maybe, we'll see. We'll amass quite a lot of credit in our account and then we'll see where we are. And more cows will definitely be part of that, because that's what we take pride in, and that's what we're here for, to make the most milk we can and the best milk we can. Harvester is full. It looks like these guys are just getting on with it very nicely. We shall go and grab the trailer. And we have a spare vehicle almost now. Depends obviously exactly what we're up to. And one of the real tipping points, if you followed this playthrough, was getting the Massey bulldozer as a third vehicle, because that really meant the core field work is done by the harvester and 2 tractors. And early game, as you saw, we were really stuck for getting a tractor free to go and do anything else. It was something you had to do at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. Now we've got the freedom with the third tractor to go and do forestry, excuse me, or whatever it is we want to do while the harvest is in progress. Now with a 4th tractor, this is where we might be in a position to invite somebody in on a multiplayer, because there's something for them to drive and things for them to do. So we may discuss that. I'd talk to some people in Discord, I'd talk to people on the forums. You never know, we may have a guest star or 2, and if you're watching and you're interested, then drop me a message through YouTube, find me on the forums. We're Deckzilla on the forums, very easy to find, and just drop us a line and maybe you can come and help us do a bit of work on here one day. The Xbox One multiplayer stability is reasonably good. It's certainly much better since I moved house and got a much better connection myself. Right, that's him done. Get the harvester back to his job. I keep giving you tantalising glimpses of the Schluter in the shed with an implement we haven't seen, certainly in this playthrough before. But I'm not going to tell you too much about that right now. Let's see if you guys can figure that one out for yourselves. Little Zeta, you can start your baling and your mowing. We'll bring the trailer back around with us, of course, otherwise I'll just forget where it is anyway. We'll just leave the trailer out here because we'll probably put in another batch later before we put everything away. We'll leave the front arms on. The tether we're going to take and put back in the shed over here. Hasn't been put away since the audit. A little bit of slack. But we don't actually need to ted today. We have hay and straw for days. So we want some grass to top the cows up and some wrapped bales to sell potentially. But then I don't know, the way that new bale wrapper works, it's a little bit intensive. Oh, is it maybe an idea to have quite a lot of bales to wrap and kind of just do them in a session? I don't know. We shall see. Right. There we are. Same old, same old. And we can keep a nice eye on the field team while we're doing it, which is always handy. Although I can't see what they'd be having a problem with now. I can. The harvester. Let's just finish this bale. The harvester has found the back of the trailer and has decided it's far too close for it to try to maneuver. We'll just finish this bale. And then so all I've got to do is pull this around here. And the harvester will get on. Yes. In terms of the number of cows we've got, there's still not really much work, are they? We're well ahead. So I think we're going to extend the cow population until we kind of get to the point where this is getting used every day. I think that would be somewhere to stop and then review the situation, because we're doing this much mowing every day anyway. So let's get the cow numbers up to where this is pretty much what they need. See where we are then. So we're just going to check how much soil we got here. It looks like a pretty much full trailer. So we'll just put the fertilizer down here for a second. And miss the hitch. There we are. Almost 15,000, and I think 991. Oh, at our friend the mill. We like it at the mill. We'll head down there shortly. We're not going to do that now because potentially I feel I may have made a discovery. At this stage it is just a thought in my head. Here is our bale wrapper, which as you saw, well, actually it's not going to work, is it? No. Let's see. Is there any way I can, if I unfold the bale wrapper and lower the bale wrapper, I'm wondering, is there any way I can pick up a bale? I'm not quite going to be able to do it, am I? I thought I might be able to pick up a bale and drop it onto the wrapper myself, but that's just, oh. Unless there's something with longer forks that could maybe do it. I'll have a look in the shop at another time. For now, it doesn't matter. We can leave the bale wrapper on the back of the tractor. That's the bale of grass that needs to go into the cows anyway. So we'll run that around, drop it in the trough, and then we'll figure out the wrapping. But first we'll get the potato harvest going, because if we get it going right, a worker will harvest the potatoes, but leave it down to us to clear them up. So let's get this fed. And we could take it around to where we clean them up, of course, or we can drop it straight in here on the way through. And since we're going this way anyway, there you go, cows, enjoy. Check the traffic. Right, and we'll just leave this guy here for now. We'll get on with the wrapping once we've got going with harvesting the potatoes. And like magic, we're at the Ministry of Logistics because I've had a thought. What if these forks are just a little bit too short and there are longer forks available, I thought to myself. So let's have a little look, shall we? Now I don't know, pallet forks, they look long, bale spikes look a little longer. So I'm just going to go in, because I've tried it with some other bale spikes off camera, and they are longer, they look longer. We're going to buy a set of them. Did I just buy a set then? What did I do then? They've got to be white. The reason I always buy white equipment, these little front loader pieces, is because otherwise I lose them and I end up having to look on the map. Right, now, if you'd bring stuff outside, Mr. Logistics Man, then I wouldn't have to bring bales in your shop, but this is all your fault. So what we're going to do is put this bale down here. We're going to put the pallet forks down there. We're going to pick up the Metal-Fach on the front. And we're going to drop it there. We're going to back up. If these bale spikes aren't quite long enough, I do have an alternative plan. But if we can make this self-operating, then that makes things a lot easier. They do look longer, don't they? Right, let's pick this back up. Yeah, I reckon we're going to get away with this. What we want to do is, it's remained unfolded, but we do want to lower it. Then switch control to the right. Are we just going to get hold of this? Come on, come on, be good to me. Yes. Look, watch us, watch us. We're a winner. We can't raise it while it's rotating, so it's a little bit draggy, but there you go. Ingenuity for the win. This is working very nicely indeed, and what I've actually done, if you remember from the first time I tried this, I've turned auto engine start stop off, so that when I switch to another vehicle, this guy will carry on wrapping. The bale doesn't exist until it is wrapped and off the wrapper, so I can leave him right there, and we can check on the guys, or in this case we can pick up the potato harvester. Forgot I had manual engine start on there, of course, for a moment. Now, this mod here is made by the same modder who gave us the bale wrapper. He obviously likes his things small and quirky. Sorry, I just wondered what was going on there. Discord still running in the background, bleeping at me. Right. Now we've got this odd row here, which probably isn't going to be a very good place to start. So what we do, we're going to lower it and turn it on. Now it does kind of have a capacity and it fills up, although it has no dial to show you, and you can see some potato action going on there. You don't need to go ahead and take the foliage off as you do with the other potato planters, and we'll do some maths in a moment, but if you actually look at the price of any other way of harvesting potatoes, I think you're looking at probably needing 50,000 potatoes just to pay for the equipment to get them out of the ground. So we're just going to carry on doing this until it says it's full. And once it is, then we need to dump it out. There you go, it's full. Now this can be a little bit funny about where it'll dump out. I think I've narrowed it down to it has to be dumped onto land that you own, which hopefully this is. So I shall unload here hopefully. There you go. We drop some potatoes there. Now hopefully, now that I've done that once, and I don't understand why you can't just set a worker straight to doing this, hopefully the worker will now do this himself and leave the potatoes in a line. No, he's not, he's filling up. Right, okay. So now we'll get called back here when he's filled up, so we can tend to another bale while he's doing that, and we'll get the message when he's filled up. I just had to look up the name of the modder that gave us this wrapper and the potato harvester. Right, he's full up over there. The reason it didn't roll off my tongue is his name, or what he goes by, is VNSFDG2. There you go. Doesn't exactly stick in the memory or roll off the tongue. Right, we'll just get this guy wrapping another bale. And then we're going to have to go and see worker 0 or worker O, who has a full grain tank. Right, now we're going to dismiss the worker. We're going to dump these potatoes here. We're going to bring the worker back round to where he was. He's not looking very smart row wise, but we'll just get, and now, there you go. Now he will do the whole field, leaving the potatoes on the surface of the field. So that's what you seem to need to do. Maybe you do need to get the worker running, wait till he fills, empty him, get him straight back working again, and do. Right, hopefully he's just going to get on with that field now, and we have no need to even look at what's going on, for a while at least. Which means we can get on with the baling. The bale wrapping and selling, I should say. So this is going to be, I think we're going to sell 10 bales. We put the 11th straight in the trough for our lovely cows. So that's going to be $9,800. So that's it. You've got to let the bale slide onto the fork, otherwise it will fall off and miss the wrapper. I'd never noticed that the bale forks are slightly longer than the pallet forks. They all spike the bales. It seems to make no difference to that. I found the one case in the game where it did, but we solved it. And that's one of the things I like about this game, or any game or anything really. If it gives you a bit of a challenge and you have to think about a solution. You know, I'm a bit more chuffed that we've just come up with a way of using this machine like this. Rather than just cursing it, giving up on it, which I've seen people do, not just with this but with other pieces of machinery in the game. The one thing, I will return to it one day, if any of you saw my Goldcrest Valley playthrough, which unfortunately was destroyed at the end of it when my hard drive failed, I used a bale picker-upper, for want of a better expression, called a Ballon Boy, and that really is odd. I will give that another go one day. It's the episode of Goldcrest Valley called Troublesome Bale Movements, and it's quite appropriate. That is a really odd piece of machinery I just did not get the hang of at all. Maybe I did something wrong. We'll have another look another day. On with the show here. Now I'm chuffed with us today that we've just figured this out. This is so much easier than having to have another vehicle. Multiplayer, it would probably be quite fun, if you see what I mean. But there you go, and because again we can just go, he'll carry on wrapping that bale. That's going to apply to all bale wrappers. That had never crossed my mind before, that because I had auto engine start stop on, the engine cuts out when you get out the tractor, so the piece of machinery stops running. So if you're wrapping bales and you get frustrated that you have to sit in a tractor watching it happen all the time, you're going to have to bite the bullet and turn off the auto engine start. Right, you're done. We'll leave the seeder here because we're certainly going to be putting some kind of cereal crop back into this field. We haven't harvested enough to be worth chasing around to pick it up, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to get on with selling these bales. How many of you got left? Only a couple. Oh, that's really quick progress actually. I think this actually wraps them a little bit quicker than the bale wrapper that we were using earlier in the playthrough, the McHale. But certainly the big difference is leaving it to do it. Look at that. And I was wrong, you can raise the wrapper off the ground while it's doing its thing. I just had the wrong tool selected. You could say I was confused. Helper K, bless him, he's making very slow progress. 6 miles an hour is as fast as this machine will go. It's 3:45. I'm just gonna, this guy, we'll see what time he finishes, won't we? But let's just see what I meant by the options. Potato harvesting. We can get this guy who you can buy for 12,000, 1,200. You can lease him for under 1,000, and we'll see how long this takes. Or the other cheaper alternative is $9,000 to take off the foliage and $112,000. So that's what, $121,000, 10 times the price is your other option to buy. And even if you want to lease it, you're looking at $9,000 and another 700, so nearly 10,000. So the purchase price of this to use this for 1 hour. Now that $10,000, if you actually look at potato prices, and I'm going to do the maths off the top of my head like I do everything in these recordings, you know, so do bear with me. Potatoes, we're going to get $190, best price there, $185 for 1,000. So we're going to need an awful lot. 40,000, 50,000. Let me do some maths. Bear with me 1 second while I conjure up a calculator. So $10,000 divided by $190, that's a good price, equals 52,631 potatoes need to be sold just to pay for the equipment to harvest them. I'm not sure why you've got a full grain tank again. Right, so let's see, we're going to dismiss you. This is where we maybe might start getting issues. This thing can get a bit odd. Right, unload here. It won't let me unload on the field. We're going to reset this guy as well. He's doing really weird row whips. Right, so we can unload there. Oh my word, this thing's odd. It's got like no weight to it there. Flicked it right round when I tried to reverse him. Right, that pretty much do. Right, go. Worker, go. You're going to leave it in a nice pile for us again, please. Yes. Long may it continue. We are going to take the small Zeta and a trailer load of soy over to the mill to sell it. I hope we haven't waited and lost any price. Oh, it has come down. It was 9.9 something, wasn't it, not that long ago at the mill. It's come down to 831 and then it's going up again. The prices on this game are just crazy. 944 Transport Company. Go. Right, so we now have many thousands of potatoes scattered on the field, and how are we going to pick them up? We're going to pick them up with this ingenious machine. It's actually the BioBelt snowblower, but it will pick anything up off the ground, and we don't really have much of an alternative other than using a bucket, to be honest with you. I like the little animation. It basically just swirls things into the front and then sucks them up. So no reason it can't do that for potatoes as well as it does for snow, as far as I'm concerned. So we've fertilised half the field. Lemasi 200 is really looking forward to getting going with his ploughing. So we need to get sucking. And as you can see, we can do 3 rows at once. This really won't take very long at all. It's very laborious to do with a bucket. You don't need to do a very big field. If you're doing this purely to get your pigs up to 100%, because you're a fuss pot like me, you may actually find you need to plant these so rarely. I mean, you'll see, we'll probably never plant potatoes again in this playthrough. But who knows? It might be our great new policy, right? We could convert ourselves from a cow farm to a potato farm. How about that? That would be fun. Go down really well at the ministry, wouldn't it? Now, on flat land, you can just go along at, you know, a good speed doing this. We're full. Now, what I hadn't actually considered, we're just going to leave the blower there. Now, this silo won't take potatoes. We got 20,000 just from there. Oh my word. Okay. I might have to put a little bit more thought into this. Just a moment. They won't go in the silo, will they? Or will they? I've never tried. Some do and some don't. I'm sure on vanilla maps potatoes and beet don't, but I could be proved beautifully wrong. Potatoes not accepted here. Okay, time for the thinking cap. We're going to have like 200,000 potatoes by the time we finish that field. Okay team, we're back. As you can see, we've harvested probably just over half the field. It took the harvester worker exactly 45 minutes to harvest the field. As you can see, we've got an odd number. This wagon isn't full. We've got 13,401. There's a bit of a weird glitch. You see those little piles of straw just above my tractor there. If there's anything else on the field or around when the snowblower is picking them up, it gets very confused. So basically it's working with a trailer full of, or filling up with potatoes, and it sucks up some straw and can't put it anywhere. I've got no wagons or anything left to empty the straw that I presume is now stuck in the blower. Long story short, we won't pick up any more potatoes right now. Yeah, now this is going to take me way back to 13. We've had to make some immediate decisions, and we've had to lease $550 each to lease them for an hour. 3 more 20,000 litre trailers, so we've got 73,000 litres of potatoes here. I reckon actually, now that I've calmed down a bit, our full harvest is going to be around 140, 150, going by the fact we get 15,000 barley out of that field, and I know the ratio we get potatoes to barley because I've got a spreadsheet all about that. All that remains for me to do is to hitch these trailers together.
Every evening when the sun goes down, get with my party and I begin to clown. I don't care what the people are thinking. I'm not drunk, I'm just a drinking. I set 'em up, another round. I set 'em up, another round. I set 'em up, another round. One more round won't get me down. Full of lush, my babe began to fuss, and I said, honey, honey, I don't care what the people are thinking. I'm not drunk, I'm just drinking. I set 'em up, another round. I set 'em up, another round. I set 'em up, another round. One more.
I'm not even sure we've got to take these yet. Let's look at the prices. We had 190 up somewhere. 190, the bakery. It's not too far away, but it is uphill. And if you think about it, I think we're getting about 8 times as much potatoes out of the land as we would wheat. And the price is more than well over half. So yeah, this is actually going to be financially quite a good result. Do I need to put a front weight on this guy? Let's have a look. Alright, come on. Go. We're rolling. Just excuse me, I'm going to get a screenshot out of this. That's looking pretty good. Beacons on, lights on, always looks good in a screenshot. Off we go. Thank you for bearing with me. This episode has ended up a bit longer than I may have intended. I'm going to chop a big lump out of it probably, because I think we're probably up to almost 50 minutes of footage by now. But we're going to stick with it. I'm going hopefully the route that involves us slowing down the least. Between here and the bakery, that's the plan. We want to get straight down the side of this canal. We could try to cut through the river, but no, we don't need to cut through the river. That's the wrong sell point. We're going to get up some speed through here. We're dealing with this very well. 93,400. I underestimated that by quite a lot, didn't I? By 20,000. This is where we might slow down a little. No, we're not phased, are we? Let's see what this does to the price. Come on, pedal. And we should start picking up a bit of speed now. We're over the crest. You're going to hit that horrible curb on the way into the bakery. We're so long, I cannot zoom out of the back of the last tipper. Yeah, and as I said, these extra trailers were like $550, $60 to lease for an hour. So if you're going to have a big harvest like this, again, why have the stuff sitting around? You can just grab it when you need it. We've already got $52,000. Oh, right, ready? The price is 190. Although I think it's a great demand price, so it shouldn't shift anyway. Start unloading. Next. It's worked out quite well. We're certainly making much more money doing this than we would have bringing up the grain from that field. Might even be something to consider. One more. Right, so we've made $18,000 out of that field. Sorry, I just clonked the microphone. If we had sold wheat or barley, I think barley we get 15,000. So 15 times that would have been about $8,000 maybe. Not going to do the exact maths. So yeah, that was a very good use of a patch of land, and I'm actually quite surprised by that. So we're going to head back to the farm. I think we're going to keep some potatoes. If I'm right, that price won't shift because it's a great demand price. You see the arrows pointing horizontally, it means no matter how much I sell while that price is blue, it won't drop. So I'm going to get the rest of those picked up and sold. In terms of what we need to keep for the pigs, it's a minute amount of what we've harvested. I reckon those 20 pigs are probably going to be full up with about 400 in their trough for 6 days. I'm not joking. So anyway guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for bearing with me. We've had a revelation with the bale wrapper, a revelation with the size of the potato harvest, and I've got to do the Schluter land train, which I haven't done for years, and Collison doesn't have to take me back. So thank you very much for watching. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. What do you think we should do with all this money? Should we go full cow, or should we just diversify even more? Yeah, really, like I wasn't going to meet you down by the cattle trough at midnight, keeping them clean, waiting for the figures to come in. Here they are. We've had an incredibly good day, haven't we? We bought $700 worth of equipment. You know, I can't even remember what that was now. It was such a busy day. Vehicle running costs, vehicle leasing costs. We leased the equipment to plant the potatoes, harvest the potatoes. They're pretty much stabilised. That was quite a lot, but the thing that we really want to look at, we sold the bales, lovely. We sold the milk, $15,700 just milk income. That more than covers the daily overheads that are here, basically. We could stop farming for a few days and just live off the milk funds, but we won't, of course. Seed fertiliser costs are quite high. Bear in mind, to plant that field 14 with potatoes was 2 whole bags of seed, $2,400 worth. But look at the change in the income. It had pretty much stabilised at 35,000-ish. We got an extra 23,000 today. That was the potatoes. They're a huge yield. We get 15,000 barley, and altogether we got nearly about 138,000 potatoes. And when you look at the prices, bear that in mind, how much you're going to get out of your land compared to the difference in price. We were lucky with that great demand. The blue prices mean they won't go down as you're selling. You can get higher prices. Green prices can be much higher, but they'll start dropping as soon as you start selling. So we were very lucky today, or maybe it was just karma. Love your map, and your map will love your back, as I always say. Wages, we ploughed, so it was a bit more anyway. But with that extra income, who really is bothered? I did predict, look, we filled up the pig's potato trough. I think it was about 550 to fill it up for 6 days. And we've still got about 4,500 sat up there in a wagon that I'm deciding what to do with. That we may replant potatoes, in which case we can use the ones we've got there to save ourselves some money. I did neglect in all my excitement to put any more soy up in the pigs, so we need to do that quite urgently tomorrow. They've got more than enough of everything else to keep them going. We're up to 57 pigs. We're making 57 cows. The reproduction rate is a new cow every 21 hours, and we're going to buy some soon and bump those numbers right up, because I think that's what we're ready to do. So thank you very much, guys. I've really enjoyed this episode. I'm loving this map. I'm loving making these videos. Like, subscribe, comment. It's all good. Any feedback is very welcome. Thank you. Take care and goodbye.